That was Britney Spears. Chat, you seeing that I'm bad with faces. That was Britney? Bruh. She looked like...
Are you ready?
I did not recognize that. Yeah, I'm horrible with faces. That's her sister? I never knew that. What? The 5 levels of industry plan. That's not very nice.
Every time an artist blows up overnight,
that's not nice.
The internet does what the internet does best. The term industry plant gets thrown around so much now that, I mean, it's hard to even know
why
what
is
it
Drake
means
here?
anymore.
Look, man, I like Drake's music. I'm not one of these. I've always liked Kendrick and Cole more. I like Drake's music, okay? And I'm not a K-bot when I say this, gangy, but he got over organically. One of the greatest of all time, but he kind of Drake kind of wants to be an industry play in a weird way. He kind of like just hops on the trend, you know?
See, there's levels to this.
Like in a weird way.
Let's start with the ones who hide it best.
Drake hops on the trend.
Step on the glass, staple your tongue.
These are the artists who still need you to believe that they started from nothing. The story has to feel real. The struggle, the discovery, the breakthrough, the indie darlings who got lucky with a viral moment.
Okay.
But if you look closer, their bedroom is in a $1 million house that their parents own, or that viral moment was coordinated by PR agents and label executives. They keep the aesthetics to DIY, but behind the scenes, there was professional management going on the whole time, even before you knew their name. Artists like Billy.
Damn. And he put Billy right on the board. I don't know too much ball about Billy. Would y'all say Billy's a plant?
Billie Eilish.
I've wanted to do this like my whole life, so I'm a little shaky.
Now, she's talented, but the whole we recorded Ocean Eyes in my brother's bedroom thing, that's not the whole story. What they don't mention is Phineas was already working in the music industry. Their mom was an actress, their dad was in bands, they grew up in LA already around the entertainment industry.
Damn.
Billy was even homeschooled specifically so she could pursue music.
You grew up homeschooled.
Yeah.
Did that shape who you are and who you will be? Because
yeah.
And by the time Ocean Eyes dropped, Phineas had already written and produced for other artists. He had a manager, he understood how the machine worked. Interscope didn't just stumble on him on SoundCloud. The setup was already there. See, there was this guy named Danny Rukerson who became her manager. And Danny was business
Seems interesting. I don't know too much about it. I don't have any bias. It seems like this could be somewhat debatable, but I mean, it's level 1, so.
Partners with Brandon Goodman. And Brandon, man,
it seems like I can see, so I can see someone who like knows Billy allegedly. Knows Billy, right? Parasocial shit. But like they know ball per se, being like, that doesn't count because yap. Like even in some of the things he said, there's potential counterpoints, but overall, it's level 1, and I don't know like literally 5 songs from her unless you like sung them. So cool. Gucci Crocs, appreciate the 10 months.
Already had deep industry connections from the start. See, the organic plant, they're the smartest plays because they keep the indie credibility while having major label resources. They play it cool. That's not the case with level 2.
Whoa, stop the disrespect of my goat! I'm tired of seeing sugar, spice, and everything ice on these slanderous labels, these slanderous tier lists, these slanderous names. I'm tired. I'm pissed. Leave the goat alone. Hey. Somebody's in a SpongeBob movie and somebody's not.
Yes. These are the artists who don't exist one day, and then the next day they're on every playlist. The push is so aggressive that even casual listeners notice that something's a little off. You see them on festival lineups before they have a fan base, getting late night TV slots before they have a catalog, collaborating with A-listers on their second single. The machine gives them all the signs of success before they've even earned it.
Watch out.
50 million streams, but you never heard anybody play their music in real life.
Shit, you thought I was feeling you? Come on, man. Stop playing with spice, bro.
They're trending on X, but nobody's actually talking about them. They're everywhere and nowhere at the same time. They're betting that if they push hard enough and fast enough, eventually fans will follow. Most of the time it doesn't work, or it only works temporarily. But when it does work, it works fast. Now, she's cliche to talk about at this point, but the artist most people talk about in this category has to be Ice Spice.
Watch out!
Again, Ice Spice.
Look at my goat.
She went from unknown to featuring with major artists in a few months.
Because she has bangers.
In August of
That's because the culture was feeling that goddamn music.
22, and by October, she was already being called the Princess of Rap.
Yup.
And then
King
she
of
was
New
at
York.
the Met Gala by May.
King of New York.
Her music video blew up on World Star Hip Hop. And I can tell you, being in the music industry myself, World Star charges big money to feature you.
That's fine. That's fine. Shit banged. Oh my God, Deli, banger. See, you playing nothing but bangers. Deli, banger.
Even closer than that.
He went to what, but I just went to Fetty.
Yeah,
that is like a jelly.
And Elliot is the son of Lucian Grange, who runs Universal Music Group. So it's not just the money, it's also the access and every door being open for you at the same time. Another one is Kid Laroi.
Yeah, move.
Go. She always be talking like
that is him. I told her to never leave me alone. I guess some accident. Brown. I miss Juice WRLD. Whoa. Perking with the leaning got me slow. And yeah, I know I made a mistakes before, but you know I ain't fucking with these hoes no more. Who won't let go? I'm the type to show you that you're too special. Please don't hate this. Oh my God, I miss Juice WRLD, bro. Fuck. That nigga's a demon, bro. That nigga was a demon, bro.
Now, he's a controversial one because there's signs of him being an industry plant, but his upbringing and his start in the music industry is pretty highly debated. It's hard to really know for sure. First off, his dad was a music producer and sound engineer, and his mom was a talent manager. And after some digging, I found out that she started a management company called Mama Capone Management to help Kid Laroi and the people he was working with get on the map. And it goes a little bit deeper because the claim is that he grew up in poverty in the ghettos of Australia, but some of these early photos I found would say otherwise. Now, of course, I wasn't there, so we still can't say for sure, but between the Juice WRLD features and the Justin Bieber collabs, it felt like he was being marketed as the next global superstar out of nowhere. And the most recent person people like to throw in this category is doechii.
But didn't people like, and okay, to be fair, he did say that like this tier is dedicated to people that aren't accepted by the public most of the time. But doechii, I'll say this, doechii did, unironically, no troll was probably the one that was like, I didn't see that coming at all. Like, where's this love coming from? But I mean, hey, dog. If the plant grows, the plant grows. But I think the only unfortunate part is calling these people plants is like, we don't know how they got these opportunities entirely for the most part. So it's like, damn, what if she did like just work her way up for real? You know what I'm saying? I'm playing devil's advocate because I don't know these people's stories and shit. And I'm a music guy. Like I love artists. But some people are plants, but some people, I don't know. I have no idea what doechii's story is. So for all I know, she's organic as fuck. Not a plant. God damn it.
When you factor in her versatility and her stage presence,
what the hell?
I think it's hard to say that she's not talented or doesn't deserve recognition. But everything was just so aggressive with her rise that people were calling her a plant before giving her a chance. So she signed to TDE, Kendrick's label. They're an independent label, but they got ties with the big three record companies, Sony, Universal, and Warner. She basically went from up-and-coming artist to winning a Grammy for Best Rap Album overnight. And her rise seems legit when you first look into it because at one point, she just seemed like your average YouTuber that was on the come up. But it's pretty clear that she's had some big label backing before we all knew who she was.
I mean, everyone, and this isn't even playing devil's advocate, this is just true. Every company has what they call the button, the rocket. You know what I mean? Like some people even think there's like the button on YouTube, right? Like there's a name that you just randomly start to see a lot of clips channels on Twitter. And then Twitch, you just one day, they average like 200 or whatever the case may be. And then just tomorrow, for some reason, they got 1,000. And it's just like, who pushed that fucking... I mean, y'all would call the girl Mickey, but who pushed the fucking button? You know what I mean? So I don't know if is getting a button push Mickey. Like if an organization bets on you to be great, and you are, does that make you a plant by technicality? Like tomorrow, like I've hit 1,000 before. I've hit 2,000 before. I've hit, I typically, if I promote my streams relatively well and I start off with anime or whatever the case may be, I'll have like 400 in my chat. Hell, I'm probably going to at some point hit 300, 400 tonight. Subscribe to see where I'm at in chat right now, or follow the Twitch. Subscribe to the YouTube still though. But the point is, if randomly over time the expected 400 was like 6, then it was 8, then it was 1.2, then it was 1.4, view botting potentially at that point. But like, you know what I'm saying? At some point, is that just that I'll go hitting, or am I playing?
And views.
That's kind of what I'm trying to get off, but I'm not saying that he's wrong.
Themselves is not having any money.
Like to be very clear, I am not arguing that he's wrong about all these plants except Ice Spice. I'm just throwing out that side of the story. During that solo stream, well, no, so the algorithm's always going to show people what they want to see, right? So if the anime guy is watching anime, gang, it's going to help you. You know what I'm saying? But like if I was, I don't know, flipping a bottle of water, and for some reason, that was my most viewed stream ever, somebody got my best interest.
And no family. And being 16 in the middle of Miami. Amethyst Amelia Kelly, a.k.a. Iggy Azalea.
First things first, I'm the realist.
Crispy Killer with the chat! Oh, yeah, Iggy, was she a plant? I'm pretty sure Iggy just had like them random white girl anthems. I don't know if I'll call her a plant, though. I see the argument.
A white girl from Australia. But you would never know that from listening to her fake urban southern accent.
Better check my tax bracket. What you think was gonna happen? Nagging, now he's leaving, and y'all broke up like madmen.
Type shit.
She became obsessed with southern hip hop. And during that time, it was so different and unexpected, T.I. couldn't help but roll out the red carpet for her. I mean, he signed her, and they basically constructed an entire persona. They got her on big interviews, featured with major artists like Charlie XCX, and the machine took off from there. At first, everybody embraced her, even the black community. She was invited to the cookout, as we like to say.
Y'all be inviting too many people to y'all goddamn cookout. I am going to say that one time only. I know.
But as time went on and racial tension started to flare back up in America, she got caught up in the culture vulture conversations.
Yep.
And once the culture rejected her, I mean, the machine couldn't save her. Some of it started with the feud between Iggy Azalea and Azalea Banks after Iggy won Best Rap Album at the Grammys.
You know what I mean? That Iggy Azalea shit is not better than any fucking black girl that's rapping today.
Mm-hmm.
What's crazy, though, that she could be 100% right, but this is definitely a situation of right message, wrong messenger, man. Azalea Banks be wildin'.
You know, and when they give those,
I don't want no
out,
smoke.
The Grammys are supposed to be
leave me alone.
Accolades for
I'm just pointing out
excellence.
That hey,
you get what I
PR,
mean?
you know, what I'm saying?
Not
my PR
excellent.
ain't the best either.
The theys purchase things that they see themselves in, right? And businesses capitalize on that.
And that's fine. So put her in the pop category. Put her with Katy Perry and put her and Miley Cyrus in the same fucking box together.
Don't put her in hip hop.
Don't put her in hip hop.
But she's rapping over a beat though.
But just because she's not singing does not mean it's rap music.
Ultimately, this all led up to Iggy Azalea.
I see the argument. Yeah. Pros and cons to that, because on one hand she's literally rapping. What are you talking about? On the other hand, and you know, you gotta feel it. Okay,
becoming an OF model and a crypto entrepreneur.
That's fair.
I think she knew she couldn't keep it up, especially when hip hop legends like Q-Tip started coming out and talking about it. But it goes to show when an industry plan is too obvious.
Stop people with me tomorrow, please. No, I don't eat beef.
The downfall can be just as quick as the rise. The puppet.
Hey, not too much of Sabrina today, man. We did a Christmas song bracket. Stay tuned for that. Hey, Sabrina won our hearts over with the freakiest Christmas song we've ever heard in our life. The freakiest Christmas song I've ever heard in my life. Find out how far that song went on that bracket, but it is hilarious. Now, in terms of her being a plant, I would have no fucking idea.
Hi, I'm Empress Mirai, and did you know that Sage hasn't had a hug since 2nd grade? And you're watching TSO Sage.
Now, the puppet is where it gets dark and where I might make some people mad. But these are the artists who became what the industry wanted them to be and not necessarily what they wanted to be. Sabrina Carpenter and Katy Perry deserve honorable mentions here, but if you want to see a full inside look on their stories, I'll link my videos in the show notes.
Okay.
Both of them had mediocre to average success in music until the industry overlords got a hold of them and changed everything about them. Katy Perry was a gospel artist, and Sabrina was a wholesome Disney child star. Another artist a lot of people talk about in this category would be Tate McRae.
Yeah, so they kind of just dance. Okay, I see how that. Okay, yeah, that definitely does fit. Start with the Gifted. That definitely does fit. Okay, that's interesting. Y'all are going crazy with subs tonight. Your boy Smoke, appreciate the follow. Just seen that.
It's probably Tate. Tate has actually been famous since she was around 8 years old. Not for music, but she was internationally known as a dancer.
So you think you can dance, bro? Holy fuck. Do y'all remember American Idol?
I'm on the dance company.
Oh my God.
Training since she was around 6. Now everything blew up.
How was Simon doing?
A YouTube video of her singing an original song called One Day, which has blown up to over 40 million views.
I've understood that you will never be mine, and that's fine.
Now, usually you wouldn't label this kind of rise as industry plant. I mean, Justin Bieber got the same kind of start on YouTube. But her brand shift is where the water gets a little muddy. She had pretty good success as the bedroom singer-songwriter, but even pop fans got caught off guard by her sexy pop diva rebrand.
Oh, no.
But who we really got to talk about is Lady Gaga. Stephanie Germanotta was playing piano in New York dive bars.
That might be valid,
2005.
I ain't gonna lie.
She was doing jazz standards and just wearing normal clothes. And then she got signed to Def Jam at 19, but she got dropped at the...
Chris Bigilla with another 5 Gifted!
L.A. Reid, he literally signed her and forgot about her. He just wasn't that interested. He thought she was too normal and too boring, not that marketable. Well, after that, Gaga changed everything. She was ready to be what the industry wanted her to be. She started studying what worked, what got attention. She analyzed Madonna's career.
Yep.
She dumbed down her skills, simplified everything, and focused on one goal: fame.
Yeah,
By 2007, she was a completely different person. She wasn't Stephanie anymore. She met her producer, Red One, and got hooked up with Akon, and they just went straight up synth pop. But the interesting thing is, she never really hid that she was just playing a character. But usually there's a consequence that comes with not being yourself.
I think real fans probably knew deep down that there was something going on.
He did it. Thanks for the 5 Gifted.
Letting go of who I was before, and I don't mean becoming, Lady Gaga and leaving that behind. That's not what I mean by that. What I mean is my life is different now.
The whole Joanne era.
Yeah, I would even just call this. I mean, I think there's a difference between being a puppet and a sellout, though. To be very fair, because when you're a sellout, it's kind of more so your choice out of. It's like the intent behind it. When you're a puppet, you're doing what you can to appease the higher ups. When you're a sellout, you're doing it knowing it's wrong and don't give a fuck. I know that kind of it coincides. The line is blurred, but maybe it is more of the same thing than it's not. But I feel like it's slightly different, if that makes sense. Let me know if you just disagree and I'm trying to over yap. And subscribe for more over yap.
Cracks really started to show. She tried to strip down the sound and perform more as Stephanie than Lady Gaga. It was her trying to find herself again. But the public didn't want Stephanie.
They wanted Lady Gaga,
They wanted the spectacle, because that's what sells. But what if you could sell your music whether it was good or not?
Nope. Oh, this was a segment. I ain't gonna lie, buddy. You can't talk like that. It sounded like you had an ad read. You can't talk like that, man.
That's the case for level 4, the nepo.
Oh, I knew he would have Drake in the video, but I thought he would have him because like he's a plant in the sense of he like not even necessarily the puppet, but he's like willing to just do whatever it takes for the, you know what I'm saying? Like he'll try any genre. That's why it was like Drake's probably gonna be in this genre. They gonna call him a nepo baby. It's crazy. Good luck with that.
Baby. These artists were industry before they were even artists. They grew up in recording studios. They had dinner with label executives, got babysat by other pop stars. They'll talk about their journey, their struggle, their grind, but they had access to producers, writers, studios, nannies. They could fail as much as they want and still get another shot.
You know what's crazy though? This is the tier really for Ivy and Willow and what's it called? Not even necessarily Drake, but yeah, like Ivy, Willow, Jaden, where I feel like it's somewhat unfortunate though, because they didn't like ask to be born in the most perfect situation and then decide to also want to be in the situation. You know what I mean? And like for me, I get that like a lot of people resonate with people who come from struggle or necessarily didn't have the best head start or whatever the case may be. But I've always had the opinion if someone's talented, they're just talented. Some people just got a better start to life than others, and that's just how it has to be. Everyone can't be from struggle. Everyone can't get it out the mud because at that point, the world's fucking muddy as shit. I've always thought that like it's a bit unfair. It's always gonna be technically true, but it's a bit unfair given the connotation. But let's see where he goes with it, in my opinion, because it's like some people are nepo babies because they abuse their nepo baby perks, and then other people are nepo babies technically, yes, but like they didn't abuse the shit. They just like capitalized, if that makes sense.
Mommy and daddy to give them every
and I can't call you villainous for that.
Failure is not possible.
Like if your mom's Beyonce and you're like, Mom, I actually think what you do is really cool. Let me make a song. Mommy Beyonce's not gonna give you the worst producer she can think of. She might say, now go get it on your own. And some people have done that, but then again, we would also just call them a nepo baby anyway. So you get what I'm saying. Let's go.
Willow and Jaden Smith were destined before they were even born. Willow dropped Whip My Hair at 10 years old on Rock Nation.
Type shit.
And then she got to quit music because it was too much pressure. Then she got to come back whenever she felt like it. She could experiment with rock and indie, whatever sound she wanted because she's failing had no consequence. Then you got Blue Ivy. Now, she did a good job voice acting on Mufasa, but should she really have a Grammy?
Blue, congratulations. You won a Grammy tonight. I'm so proud of you.
She do got a Grammy. She do got a Grammy. I wouldn't know if she deserved it or not, but she got a Grammy.
It don't matter what should be. It just is.
Damn, yo, I'm glad they showed this picture. Yo, chat, Blue Ivy's fucking tall. Like when Beyonce was in the DMV, I think she was at technically not DC, but like in was it Largo, Laurel, whatever FedEx is. But like, bro, everybody was like, yo, gang, Ivy tall, bro. Like what the fuck? She was born in 2012, so I understand, you know, as time goes on, like, chat, Ivy's 13. What the fuck? But I mean, that picture, if that picture isn't enough for you, dog, Ivy like dead ass tall, bro. What the fuck? What the actual fuck? Ivy honestly kills it. And that's what I'm saying. Like, if she's just good, what do we do? like, I'm not going to sit there and just nepo baby, and she just goes out the way to differentiate herself from Beyonce. Now, don't get me wrong. She does perform Beyonce a lot because that's her mother, things like that. But it's always a slippery slope when someone's actually talented, doesn't abuse perks, but they also do use them to a degree because why would you not use them? It's always a little shaky there.
Now, the next nepo baby might surprise some of you guys, but yes, Drake is a nepo baby.
Yeah.
The most talented one for sure, but if you don't believe me, I think it's time that we actually meet the Grahams. So, his dad, Dennis Graham, was a drummer who worked with Jerry Lee Lewis.
Okay.
Jerry Lee Lewis was one of the pioneers for rock and roll. Then you got his uncle, Larry Graham, who was a singer himself, and he was a bass player for Sly and the Family Stone.
Okay.
One of the most famous funk groups of all time. And then you got his other uncle, Teenie Hodges, who was a songwriter and guitar player for Al Green. Drake was playing on Degrassi and making 50 grand a year when he was a teenager.
Type shit. Damn! You know what's crazy? I know this scene because who doesn't, but I never saw Degrassi.
When that ended, he had money.
Never saw Degrassi. That's another one, chat.
And connections that could fund his own mixtapes. Now, started from the bottom is great branding, but the bottom was middle class with industry connections.
Damn.
But the most successful and possibly the saddest of them all is level 5, the super plant.
The super plant. Damn, I don't recognize none of these faces.
The super plant is as close to a robot as you can get. They don't write their own music. They don't choose their image. They don't control their social media. They show up, perform the role they've been given, and then they just collect a percentage. Most of them started from childhood and have even been put through development programs. There's people that control what they eat, control what they say. They'll pretend to date somebody just because
that was Timberlake up there? Oh shit, that is him. The hair fucked me up.
Their whole life becomes content.
The hair fucked me up.
Sadly, they're the ones that usually have the most trauma and depression and mental health issues. Britney Spears is probably the most tragic example of
that was Britney Spears. Chat, you seeing that I'm bad with faces. That was Britney.
It was on the Mickey Mouse Club. It was basically an all-star training camp. You had Christina Aguilera, Justin Timberlake.
No way, that was Britney Spears. Fuck you. That was Britney Spears.
All is level 5.
Bruh, she looked like. Are you ready? I did not recognize that. Yeah, I'm horrible with faces. I'm horrible with faces, bro. Shit.
Most of them control what they say. Content. They'll develop to date somebody just because it's good for their
I
image.
recognize
their whole life becomes content. And sadly, they're the ones that usually have the most trauma and depression and mental health issues.
That's her sister? What? No, that's actually her sister? I never knew that. What? You're shitting me. Wow. I never knew that, yo. I swear I'm not doing a bitter skit. I never knew that. I'm not even trolling. I never knew. That's her sister. Wow. I just connected the dots. Yeah, Jamie Lynn Spears. Wow. I never knew that. I was like, bro, that look like Zoe. What the fuck? Hey, so I guess to rip the Band-Aid off, now it's a little less stupid. When he put her up there, I was like, the fuck is Jamie Lynn Spears doing? I'm like, what the fuck? You got Jamie Lynn Spears up here in this fucking video. I was just gonna let him cook. I was confused. I swear, on right hand to everything. I was like, what the fuck? What are you talking about? Why is Jamie Lynn Spears in a music video?
Britney Spears is probably the most tragic example of the super plant. When Britney was on the Mickey Mouse Club, it was basically an all-star training camp. You had Christina Aguilera, Justin Timberlake, Ryan Gosling. They were all kids being groomed for stardom. But when Britney signed with Jive Records when she was 15, they created the whole package for her. Britney could actually sing, but they were giving her baby voice pop songs. And then they even controlled her virginity, because she wasn't a virgin, but they told her she had to tell the public that so she could stay pure.
I'm just wondering how you feel about all the constant speculation about your virginity and whether you are a virgin or not.
I really wish I would have never said anything to begin with, because I'm kind of stuck in this little place where people are always asking me. But, you know, that's just something that's part of growing up, and that's just something that we all have to deal with. So.
Tough. They wanted to keep that young and innocent vibe, but at the same time, they were marketing her to be provocative.
Yep.
By the time she was in her prime, she had been in the industry so long that she was already starting to lose herself. She got married for 2 days. She beat up a car with an umbrella, shaved her head. The constant pressure of being one of the most famous people on the planet, I mean, it completely took over. The conservatorship made it even worse. She was unfit to control her own life, but fit enough to release albums and generate millions of dollars. Then K-pop takes this to a whole nother level. They treat music like it's an Olympic sport. They take 12-year-olds and they call them trainees. They keep them in dorms and they make them practice 16 hours a day.
Damn.
They give them personality types. And then in the end, when the company can't make a profit off of them anymore, they disband the group. But the Asian music markets, what they tend to do is they learn from the American music market of the past, because this goes all the way back to NSYNC and the Backstreet Boys.
Damn.
Both of the groups were
I'm learning right here. I don't know
Perlman.
ball. This is crazy.
He was a music manager who both of the groups actually ended up suing in the end. But he held auditions and he picked the members of the group, gave them the music, told them what words to sing. He even did a whole marketing campaign where he put the groups against each other. And the worst of it all, in the contracts, he put himself as one of the members of the group and was stealing money from them. But at the end of the day, the super plant pretty much has no control. Now, there's quite a few artists I didn't get a
I'm about to
chance
say it. This is the tier that you can't feel bad for. Like the Nepo Baby one, you can kind of feel bad for, because obviously the higher the tier, the more like common, influential, and simultaneously, by the way, fire thumbnails, and simultaneously like I said common, popular, and at the same time, you can argue get sadder over time. But at least with Nepo Babies, you can argue, some Nepo Babies do abuse this shit. With the tier before, what was that? The puppet, you know what? You danced on purpose. The obvious, you know what you did. The organic one, you're just a fucking liar. But when you get all the way to super plant, it kind of just gets sad in the sense of like, you you can't do anything about that shit, bro. Like, you kind of just made that way, twin. That sucks. That sucks indeed. Let me know what your thoughts. Let me know if you agree with the names he's had here. This is actually a really fire video. I'm gonna give that a like as well. Someone in the comments said Grammys are not about excellence. They are an industry popularity contest. Yeah, that's true. That's true as well. But we got the shit to do. Bye.